point that I would like to get across is none of the current systems really matter. Like, we're going to look back at GPT-4 and, you know, I don't know if any of you have like picked up the original iPhone in recent years, but it's like, wow, I cannot believe we were excited about this. Each pixel's like that big, you know, it just feels like this like incredibly antiquated thing. The curve here is going to be much, much steeper. And what the systems are going to be capable of in the not distant future, we think, is going to be very dramatically different. So this is like a system that I don't even know what the right... This is like the old first like grayscale Nokia phone that looked like a little candy bar. And the iPhone 14 is coming. So what I would say is it's a mistake to get too focused on the current systems, their limitations, their capabilities, the impact they're having. The thing that matters here is we are on an exponential curve, truly. Two big miracles, I think, in the field. Number one, we have an algorithm that can genuinely, truly, like no tricks, learn. And number two, it gets predictably better with scale. And that, we're going to look back, I think, on those two realizations as a turning point in human history when you put them together. But what it means is that the rate of progress in the coming years, the capabilities are going to be significant. So it's totally cool that ChatGPT can write that poem. When a future system can like cure all disease or help us address climate change or radically improve education or make us all like 10 or 100 times more productive at what we do, that's quite impactful. We started the company because we were nervous about AGI risk before people even talked about AGI. And now I think part of the reason we deploy systems is so that people confront the technology, feel it, understand the risks, the benefits, and now a lot of other people are also very excited but sharing the concern. I think this is a special moment where the globe can come together and kind of get this right, and we certainly would like to try to do that. India has been a country that has really, truly embraced ChatGPT. In a way, maybe you can tell me why. I'm sort of curious. I'm hoping to learn while I'm here. We're very delighted, but there has been a lot of early adoption and real enthusiasm from the users. One of the very earliest things, like in the first weeks of launching ChatGPT, we heard about a farmer in India who wasn't able to access government services, and via like ChatGPT hooked up to WhatsApp in some sort of complicated way, was then able to. And that was like one of the early things where we're like, huh, we did not think that was going to happen. First of all, it's super impressive to see what India has done, I think in a way that really no other country has, with these sort of saying we're going to do national technology really well and like make it a really like a national asset. In terms of AI strategy, I think there's like a lot of things that can work. I think this question of sort of AI sovereignty, none of us have an answer to yet. Feels like it's going to be at least somewhat important. But the main thing that I think is important is figuring out how to integrate these technologies into other services. And that is an area that I think governments are behind on and don't have the answers to yet. But, you know, I think like hopefully we all start to use LLMs to make government services way better, both from like how do I enroll in this program to like how do I get better healthcare. Yeah, I think it is good to have certainly some sort of AI research effort. What exactly that should do, you know, should that be training ground up LLMs? Should that be pursuing new research directions? Should that be focused on fine tuning open source projects? I think there's a lot of options there, and I don't yet like have conviction on the right answer, but some, you know, nationally funded AI effort feels like a good idea. Yes, every technological revolution leads to job change, and this will be no exception. I guess three thoughts. Number one, job change itself is fine. You know, if you kind of look at the history of this, in 2 generations, we can kind of adapt to any amount of labor market change, and there's new jobs, and the new jobs are usually better, and that's going to happen here too. Some jobs will go away. There will be new, better jobs. They're difficult to imagine as we sit here and dream about what the future is going to look like. The thing that might be different about this is the speed with which it could happen. And I think it will require a change to the socioeconomic contract and the way governments think about this if it happens at a very fast pace. The second thing is it's not going the way people predicted so far, and I don't think it will in the future. So the current systems are actually not very good at all at doing whole jobs. They're very good at doing tasks. And so the nature of the job, if you're, say, a computer programmer, to stick with that example, shifts to you kind of like manage a team of extremely junior developers that can only do one minute task at a time. And then someday they'll do 10-minute tasks, and then they'll do an hour task. But you'll still have to think of like, how is this all going to fit together? What do I want to build? And maybe eventually it learns that too. But this idea that instead of replacing jobs, it's making people dramatically more efficient, and there is such a demand overhang in most places. If we can overnight make the world create 3x more software because we make every software developer 3 times more efficient, that is not nearly enough. That does not nearly fulfill the demand the world has for software, and I think we'll see that in many other places. So another example of this is that the consensus, not the consensus, the absolute belief of experts around the world 10 years ago. First, AI is going to come replace the physical labor jobs. So truck drivers, farmers, factory workers, real trouble. Then it'll come for the sort of easier kinds of cognitive labor. Then maybe eventually like computer programmers, even a mathematician. And then, way in the future, or maybe never, because maybe it's like magical and human, the creative jobs. And of course we can look now and say it appears like it's going exactly the other direction. But that was like really non-obvious, certainly to us. We started thinking we were going to build robots. And it still, in some deep sense to me, seems like it should be much easier to make robots than it is to make GPT-4. But here we are. I think with other job impacts, it's just going to be surprising. But I think the world will get way wealthier. We'll have a productivity boom, and we will find a lot of new things to do. This is unlike other technologies. Well, other technologies are like this too, but this is a strong case of a technology that on the one hand is the most exciting, most promising, coolest thing I think that humanity will have yet built. We can cure all disease, we can give everybody a great education, better healthcare, massively increased productivity, huge scientific discovery, all of these wonderful things, and we want to make sure that people get that benefit. That benefit is distributed equitably. And on the other hand, there are the obvious concerns about the power of this technology used in a negative direction. And so we want to be a force to help manage those risks so that we all get to enjoy the benefits. ChatGPT is definitely what we're best known for, so I guess they're sort of synonymous at this point, but OpenAI is really about this quest for AGI.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.